Good evening, sir. My name is Nosa Uwadia.
You've been here, you've been a participant at this very youth meeting. So, how do you see the entire idea? What have you learned?
Well, I think that the experience has been very exciting, very educating. Quite a lot of knowledge was shared on a lot of things, especially in terms of value creation for business and in terms of how you can upscale your businesses and your personality.
So, I'm looking at a meeting like this whereby entrepreneurs are being brought together to deliberate on topical issues like this. So, as you're leaving this place, what is that thing you're going on with?
Well, what I'm going home with essentially is that there are great opportunities out there to be tapped into, both locally and internationally. What is key is that you have to identify what you really want exactly, begin to seek partners that share the same ideas, and pitch your businesses to them with a lot of confidence. And communication is very key. Ability to communicate what you have in your mind and ability to make it presentable for people to see the value in what you are doing.
Thank you. And what exactly do you do, sir?
Thank you. Well, I'm a media entrepreneur. Yes, yes, my organization is Media Supermat. I we are promoters of publicnotice.ng, which is a news and information portal for classified information on public notices.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
So, having been a participant at this very evening meeting, what are the things you learned? You're going away with.
I mean, it was definitely very educational and insightful to hear from these two and to learn from their experiences. And I saw a lot of parallels in what they've done and what they've accomplished, and what I'm trying to accomplish. Mrs. Edu is in hospitality as well, somewhat. So that's my field, and I learned a lot from that as well.
So, what is that thing that is lacking that you're bringing into the hospitality sector, so to say?
I help investors and developers who need help with setting up their projects in the first place. So I come in at the beginning, before they even go forth with starting construction. I do the feasibility studies. That's something that a lot of people don't do before they go ahead with construction. They just have some money, they have land, and they say, I'm going to build a hotel. But you don't know if what you want to build is needed in the market. So I help them basically guide their decision making so that what they build or don't build is exactly what the market needs.
And young people struggle to access capital. Is it different for you, or is it still the same old story?
Well, for me, I'm selling my knowledge. Like, it's my intellectual property I'm selling. So, starting off, my struggle was finding clients who could trust me with their projects. And, I didn't require capital. Consultants don't really require that much capital to start off. So just, taking one project first and doing a good job and getting referrals is how I've been able to move forward.
Thank you very much.
My name is Oinko Akinyosoye.
So, what do you do?
I run different businesses ranging from education to trade.
Okay. So, when have you been in business?
Since 2013, so I'm currently trying to carve out an area in hospitality called Service Excellence, just helping hotels or restaurants really find where their competitive advantage is in terms of bringing the customer experience and improving labor, so to speak.
What exactly are you learning? What have you
Um, what did I learn? That everybody's story is different and you really cannot compare yourself to others. So when you see others have succeeded, they have gone through a lot and a lot of effort has gone into their establishment, and also a lot of investment is required for the individual, not just in the business. So you also have to grow as a person, learn skills so that when you are ready to give back to the world, you're a better informed person. People can actually gain and learn from you. Because what we have learned today, we are going to pass on someday, hopefully in the future. So it is important to build who you are.
and young people just want to be the straight away.
Yeah.
When they enter into business, they don't want to do too much wow.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just want to, I mean, they just want like the entertainment slang. They just want to blow,
Blow.
right? So,
Yes.
so what do you say as a young person as well? So what do you say, I mean, to young people generally who are just starting a business?
I think patience, diligence, and perseverance. So patience in that it takes time. You are not going to blow overnight. And if you blow overnight, it's the same way, yes, somebody will burst your bubble. So patience and perseverance, you always have to push yourself beyond what you think you can do. And diligence, just keep at what you're doing. Focus.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
You said so much and your brilliant delivery. So obvious that you've been in business for years. So you are senator. What is that particular thing you're going to pinpoint as the biggest challenge facing Nigerian startups?
This is a tough one. Just to pick, the average startup in Nigeria faces a couple of challenges. Most people are quick to say access to a beautiful idea, so they are quick to get a website, print the numbers of brochures, and then they start. 3 months down the line, they've not made a sale. Then they realize that the single most important thing they should have thought of from beginning never came up in all of the strategy, which is about how we're going to sell. So I would say sales, how to generate sales, is, in my opinion, one of the biggest challenges that most startups face. How do we convince people, I'm a startup, to have that level of trust, to part with their money, that I can deliver on their mandate. In the line of business that I do, which is service consulting, that would be number one for me.
And somebody talked about selling service.
Yeah.
We are in the world whereby people are trying to take to freelancing, and probably we have the Fiverr, we have a whole lot of online platforms where people sell skills and services.
Yeah.
Do you say Nigeria has come of age in the area of freelance?
I will say yes, but big businesses are still struggling with the idea because they think they have the money, so we should be able to buy any skill set we want full time. But there are a lot, the number of, I won't say small, medium-sized businesses are growing by the day. And they recognize that while I may have a need for a particular skill set, I don't need this person 5 days of the week. So they are willing to say, can you come and I pay you for 1 day a week kind of service? We find that in branding and marketing, not sales. So I need marketing, communication, social media, and those sort of services. Small and medium-sized businesses have come to recognize and realize that I don't have to have this person full-time. And that is the way the world is going. That is the way Nigeria is going. Even as Dale Carnegie, we have 1 or 2 services that we pay freelancers to come and do. We probably have a need to organize an event once a year. Why do I need to bring an event person to work for me full-time? It doesn't really make any sense. So I would say yes, freelancing has come of age. But I also advise the freelancers to say, are you able, be much structured about it. So it's not about 1 hour here, 1 hour here. Can you have like just 3 entities that you work for? Maybe 2 days a week at Dale Carnegie, 1 day a week at Virtual Hub. And then, because you also require that, understand that the different businesses you want to freelance for, they have peculiar needs. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin and then the quality of your offering reduce. So why not have just a small number of entities you work for? You're still a freelancer, but you're able to give them a lot. So yes, I would say it's come of age. Maybe not exactly the way we have them in the West, but it can only get better for freelancers. And I even hear they have an association right now in the country.
Something baffles me a lot.
Yeah.
And is the fact that according to Quartz, quite about 29% of foreign direct investments coming into Africa are coming to Nigeria. And when you look at that, the fact that you have South Africa, they are not getting up to what we are getting. You have the likes of, Kenya, they are not getting up to what we are getting. Egypt is not getting up to us. But when you look at the business environment and pipeline of development, you discover that we've not been able to do so much like those countries. So why?
Coming about why they are coming here, the guys realize that the returns on investment you get in Nigeria is like no other place. So they come in here not because they love us, but because of the returns on their investment. So in spite of the risk, these businesses are still willing to come here. Nobody would develop Nigerians. Nobody would develop Nigeria for Nigerians. Only Nigerians will develop Nigeria. So they will come here, do their business, and repatriate their profits. So you see them come here. They are coming here simply for the returns. These are not NGOs. These are not non-for-profits. They are strictly here for the business. They do the business, take their returns back in their country. We as a country, as a people, those in leadership, those policymakers need to recognize that only the policymakers can make things happen for Nigerians. So it's not going to be, so looking at how much foreign investment that comes in, it really doesn't have any correlation anywhere in the world really in terms of the level of development in a country. Only the people who own the country have to develop their countries. They pay their taxes. What do we do with their taxing monies? They do whatever we require of them to do. So the obligation is on us, not on them.
I think it would be starting out to learn, and that was like I said, when I went looking for an NYC to get to PA1 and something that was so for me, it's something that I would like to share with everybody so that the young generation can know that, there's no wasted effort. We need to go get on our knowledge and want to go out and actually do something, because it was really restless. Get up to say, I want to start searching. I didn't have to search. I didn't know that it was going to be posted to that way. So it was really sticking out to sit around and laze around the place and working up and since then, there's no one going. I think that's what I would love to talk about. So don't waste any time in your life just acting there. Always get your when people feel I'm First for me, I always say spiritual. For everyone of us, like I said earlier, the spirit, soul, and body. So if your spirit is not aligned with God, you cannot get to, you can't get people. So I always say first, go to God in prayer, praise or whatever works for you. And then the next step will be you must always have a business mentor. Having a mentor has nothing to do with marriage. It's just somebody you can share your thoughts and ideas with. Somebody that can been through something that's going to go off and like a motivation. Then like I learned somebody today, the power of your network is also very important. I used to say the power of your mastermind. Your mastermind is just about the same as your network anyway. So you need to have a network with a support system. A network of people. So it could be an association that you belong to. It could be a group of startups that you're working with. It could be, so you always find partners, people that can support you and help you up, because it could get really overwhelming. And that's why I see a lot of people throw in the towel too early in the day, because they feel like there's no one, I failed, or I'm going, I'm so much, I'm down in debt, and a lot of debts all over, I don't have people to support. There's a way to work yourself through. happy. I tell people, even if you have the worst banking experience and you have debts to bank and everything, there's something we call a workout session. So you will work out everything. You work out life, you work out sadness, you work out situations. You can always work it out.
When we're just coming out of a recession, and post-recession, we're talking about I'm seeing some new things and all that. So what's the timeline?
Well, if you can remember, that time we were talking about hospitality, and I was saying that there was a lot to do in terms of hospitality and tourism in Nigeria, and that I was personally going to take a bold step and start to connect with other agencies, ministries, and all the companies in industry. So since then, we've actually started. We've been in touch with the NTDC, Nigerian Tourism Board. We've also been in touch with a lot of hotels, hospitality companies. We also do some work for AMCON. We actually do consultancy in the hospitality sector. So we've been able to grow, in that area because we're passionate about it. Post-recession, we also see that a couple of hotels that we're not doing so well, mainly because of management. So we're beginning to do more in terms of hotel management as well. So apart from just consultants, we're now doing more management as well.
I'm looking at virtual hub. It's a very good identity set of co-working spaces, and so many co-working spaces that are coming on board every day. So, but what is that need that is virtual hub selling one of the Nigerian market, especially people
So I always tell people that the first thing we have is we're premium brand. So we're ready to compete globally. So I'll just say to myself, if they ask me who my competition is, I will say I'll pick winners. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that is so way out of your league. It's failure, they're all over, maybe 140 countries and all of that. But for me, it helps us to challenge ourselves, especially with our processes and our strategy. So we are definitely very appealing to premium brands. So also in our hub, you'll find companies like Canon, which is an international brand. You're going to find companies like Pinpoint, like from Dubai. You're going to find, so we have more international companies actually in our hub. Another thing we're doing is we're the first 247 virtual hub in Lagos. I'm not afraid to say maybe even a whole of Nigeria. But I noticed that Nigerians usually, we're used to 9 to 5. Our people are not challenging and they're not using that product. Because what we're saying to you is that we're open every hour of the day. So when Singapore is working, is awake, we are awake. When China is awake, we are awake. When London is awake, we are awake. When New York is awake, we are awake. So it means that people that have businesses across different nations of the world should actually be able to come in here and work here. So that's another appeal that we have. And then because of where we are located, this is a premium location as well, in the heart of the GRA, so it is so safe and convenient. So we offer them absolute safety, convenience, and all of that. So I believe we really are definitely when it comes to Parasite, charcoal. A couple of months ago, we sat down and said, how do we bring that to people, to the business community especially? And one of the ways is to train people. Why make it another boring session where people are going to be training but we don't want to? When you have a fireside chat, what you're saying is the whole no holds barred session. We're saying we're bringing down all the walls. We're ready to talk sincerely, authentically about what we're going to be like. And we believe with that, people connect from the good, the bad, and the ugly. So this is why we said, let us do something that is different, but again, that gives back to the business community. And that's what we're doing. That's what talks. Let us it doesn't matter because they keep telling you, we are. We're chairman. Chairman, exactly. So it is fine. Thank you very much. There's no gender bias